And we're back. Welcome back to Cardboard Connoisseurs with Josh and my main man Carl. Here today to bring you the top 16 cut. Everybody on camera has got their first win and they're ready to rock. We got Alex on Jodah, John on an unusual Tymna and Disciple of Krufix build, and then we have Bobby back again with his Pirates, Malcom and Vial Smasher, and then we have Michael on Opus Thief. So should be a pretty good one.
Yep. Alex definitely signaling that he has a lot going on with the turn 1 gemstone mine. Very eager right here to play something out. And we do have a turn 1 enlightened tutor from Opus Thief here.
And he's gonna go ahead and fetch, and I like how Alex covers up his gemstone. Like it's not really there.
He's ready to tap it. He's ready to tap it. Esper Sentinel, Sensei's Divining Top into play really quickly.
Such a strong start. I mean, you got your card selection, you're drawing cards. Let's see if anybody has anything to say about that.
Yeah. And once Esper Sentinel lands, I doubt you're doing a whole lot to interact with it here in the colors that we're seeing here. You know, we're with these 3-4 color decks, you don't usually see a lot of creature removal because they can run good counter spells, good advantage engines, so
they kind of just go through you or over you.
Yep. So that Esper Sentinel is going to generate a lot of value. It's already generating a lot of value. We've got a Jeweled Lotus here. We've got an Opt here, both of which he's drawing off of. Almost as good as a fish. Actually, exactly as good as a fish would be right now. Because no one's paid for it.
Yeah, everyone just sitting here. They're okay to feed the robot for now. Alright, we got a Mana Vault there.
Yep. Definitely a lot of signals, I think, on this table that people do not have a lot of interaction right now. A lot of stuff resolving on turn 1. And a lot of threatening stuff as well. So, let's see where that goes.
Not entirely sure on what Tymna and Disciple of Krufix's plan is, but playing a Draneth Magistrate is definitely one of them.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think that matters that much for Alex, but especially with the Opus Thief player tutoring up Mana Crypt, that's not necessarily what you want to see on turn 1 for sure.
No.
All right, a bunch of rocks from him.
Good honest rocks.
No good way to refuel his hand though with that Draneth Magistrate into play. And of course the Malcom player already having Malcom in play probably doesn't care too much about that Draneth Magistrate. So I highly doubt we're going to see that thing removed by any of the other players. He's going to have to find a way to deal with that himself.
It'll have to be removed before they try for any breach lines.
Right.
It will not work under Magistrate. But yeah, not too many people at the table that care about their commander outside of Opus Thief.
Yeah.
Go for another
tutor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just some tutors, just some
trying
rocks.
To avoid at least a little bit, given Sad Robot there, Glad Robot. Ristic Buddy, as some call him.
Ristic Buddy. That's my favorite.
Yeah. That additional
Ristic
card
Buddy.
draw. Yeah. He said, I already paid for it once. I'm not paying for it again.
Yep.
Yeah. He is Mystical Tutoring. I think there's a little bit of talk about whether or not that needs to be countered, but not a whole lot of fear from him with Draneth Magistrate there, locking him out. I expect we'll see maybe a wheel or something here, but it is hard to say.
Most people live and die by the counter what they tutored for and not the tutor.
Yep.
I don't think that's always right.
Well, it
if you
depends
don't
on
know
what
the,
interaction you have for sure. So
right.
so Pirates is definitely going to run things like Pyroblast, um, or even Dispel, uh, Miscast, all of those. They would if he reaches out for something like a Rhystic Study, that you're not going to necessarily be able to interact with that, which you can't get it, of course, off of Mystical Tutor, so this makes it a lot safer, but that Red Blast still maybe could not hit what they got if he gets like Ad Nauseum or something.
True.
Yeah, okay, does look like he is going for a wheel, and actually, yeah, the table talk, he does say that just in case there is a Pyroblast, instead of getting Windfall, I think I'll get Wheel of Fortune here.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. See Alex get real excited over here. Let's see what he's doing.
Yep. He also realizes that, unfortunately, does not have a red source, so on second thought, maybe we do go back to Windfall. Looks like he's got a Talisman of Progress out in his... Is that a Tundra under his arm? But yeah, no red sources right now for him, and obviously he didn't play a land, so not confident in his ability to track one down before that happens. Time Twister.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Going all in for it. He also might be afraid, I guess, that they'll see Windfall off the tutor and people will try to empty their hands a little bit. I think you probably could still go for Windfall, but I don't think Time Twister is a bad pick.
No responses for Baron here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Baron comes down, uses top with the floating mana off the Mana Crypt. I don't think you're too scared of Baron here, how many artifacts we have? 1, 2, 3. I don't see any more. So he's not going to be able to go infinite with Dockside, assuming he does have that.
Just a good old honest Baron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can still interact with Malcom if bad things happen and the pirate comes down. Of course, the pirate not coming down this turn. He doesn't have double red, but okay,
we shall see.
Yeah. The Opus Thief player stating that he definitely is not going to add Nas as well.
Pinky promise.
Don't know how much we believe that. All right, and then we do have an Adnaz from our Pirates player here, with a lot of tapping out.
Nope, doesn't seem like anyone's got anything to say about it.
No, looks good. He's pointing at the Desperate Sentinel there. I don't know if he paid or not. Doesn't look like he paid, right? Mana Vault, Treasure, Underground Sea. So he is going to draw off that, see if he's got any more interaction.
Yeah, he already knew what it was from top. I think it's either the Elish Norn or the card very close to Elish Norn.
All right. He is losing a lot of life really quickly off this, hitting a bunch of little 3-drops. 3-drop. Yeah. He's still getting a lot of cards. But this is a main phase Adnaz where he's already attacked. This is really not that dangerous to the table, especially with if he's going to hit Force of Will and Peer into the Abyss in the top, probably 20 cards or so. I mean, he could definitely keep going if he wants to, but it does look like he's going to stop here. His only mana being Mana Confluence. Not awesome.
Yeah, not stellar. I guess he's just going to shape his hand here and get ready for next turn.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of attacking, nothing to really threaten his life total. Seems like this is pretty free.
Yeah, even if every creature on the board attacks him, he's only taking 3 damage. Is that right? Is Baron a 1/1? I can't exactly remember. I think he's a 1/1.
He's a 2/2.
He might be a 2/2, but in that case, it would still only be 4, right? So
yeah.
He's not in danger of dying to attacks right now. But there is a Time Twister coming down next turn, so when he does shape his hand here, I mean, he'll have Force of Will, but that Force of Will may need to come out next turn, depending on what the... Oh, he's still going. He is still going. And he hits Chrome Mox, it looks like, and Rite of Flame, which is pretty ideal. Mox Opal.
Okay.
All right, this is looking better. Brain Freeze.
Sitting at 7. He's already hit Pier.
Yep. And he's got Force of Will back up in his hand.
Sometimes you just gotta lean back and say fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, I think here I'm still going, but it does depend on the math. All right, he's down to 5 with Force and Adnaz already out of his deck. I don't think this deck would run any other 5 drops, but it does look like he's gonna stop there. Maybe he might be scared of a 4 drop and want that mana off Mana Confluence.
Mm-hmm.
Mana Crypt. Mox Opal. Kraum Mox with Rite of Flame here.
So what's worth doing here? Do you think that it's I mean, I don't think Wheel would be that great in this spot.
I mean, I think when you cast Mana Crypt here, you have to win, because if not, you get attacked for 2 and you have a chance to die on your upkeep.
True.
But we didn't see Underworld Breach. We do see him thinking about Praetor's Grasping.
He loves his Praetor's Grasp, I tell you what.
Yeah. We see Rain Freeze, but no Underworld Breach. And this deck can't run Savine's Reclamation, so just a big Brain Freeze here is not going to work.
No, plus he's staring down Magistrate.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of things going wrong with his hand. I think he might be regretting his Adnaz choice there.
Yeah. His hand almost looking as bad as John's up there in that duct tape splint.
Yep. He's going to need a duct tape splint after losing, 35 life off Adnaz.
Sometimes it just be like that, though.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, if he keeps that Peer into the Abyss, he is going to draw a lot of cards at a really good rate next turn. 2 life or 3 life, depending on what happens. Maybe 1 life to draw probably 30 cards. He is still thinking about this. Is he just casting Wheel? He is just casting Wheel.
Interesting.
Oh, no, sorry. He's actually exiling that Wheel of Fortune, I think, to Chrome Mox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he kept the Rite of Flame?
I'm not sure. So yeah,
okay.
he did.
Yeah.
He did keep the Rite of Flame. Okay. Yeah, so he is, like I said, he is going to try to win here. I think when you Adnaz that hard, go down to 5, and you're staring down 3 power and the Mana Crypt, and you have Mana Confluence on the board, and you have a tapped Mana Vault, like, if you don't win right here, you're probably dead.
What do you think the line is?
I don't think he has it. I think that's what the line is. He's going to try to Praetor's Grasp for something. Maybe he Praetor's Grasp, but he is out of mana.
Okay.
He has one colorless floating, 2 red. Is he just trying to pull the Time Twister off the top of his deck? I don't think that's a great idea. He does pull Underworld Breach out. He
does not see the Drannith.
Does not see Drannith. He actually can't cast Underworld Breach even, so he actually can't cast any card he gets here off Praetor's Grasp. I think he's probably about to have a Rude Awakening. And maybe he has, he did draw a bunch of cards. Maybe I'm missing something.
I don't know. Part of getting good as a cEDH player in general is really seeing the context of the battlefield, knowing the ins and outs of your lines, what stops you, what you need to get around. And this is just a classic situation of I killed myself a bunch and then I just pooped my pants.
Yeah. All right. He says, taking your Underworld Breach. He has confirmed it.
Bobby, our Malcom player here, again, 2-time defending champion.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of weight on his shoulders.
Yep.
Is not seeing that Magistrate to save his life, though.
And even this 2-time defending champion does not... I do think he forgot that he cannot cast Underworld Breach here. Let's see.
Let's all join in his realization.
Yeah. So he does have 3 mana floating, 2 red and 1 colorless. I think he wanted to fix the dice to make it not look like he had 3 red floating. I don't think that'll matter, but we'll see. I see a Taxian Probe in his hand. I doubt he's going to do that.
Just good, honest, colorless mana.
Yeah. He does have a ton of protection. Like, if you can...
Nobody's interacting with this
if he sees the line. If he sees the line, he is getting it. Yeah.
Instead of casting wheel, it seems like we're going to go ahead and spin some wheels. Getting ever so entrenched in the mud.
Yep.
But, who knows? There may be an out. He's still searching for it.
Yep. I do think that he's locked out here. Yeah, and he is depressed now that he has put that Wheel of Fortune in his graveyard, basically locked himself out of having any outs here.
Yeah, he did not get... Well, he did get a bunch of free mana, but he played it and used it for a line that did not pay off.
Yep, did not pay off, indeed. All right.
So once he passes the turn, it looks like Alex is pretty much primed to go off to the races here.
He's definitely excited with his hand here. You can see him continually looking back, planning out his next turn. He's definitely got a lot to do.
He's ever so close to that Buccaneer.
Yeah.
We did not see it in all these cards.
Definitely a very, very poor Adnaw's flip there. Hitting Force of Will, hitting Peer into the Abyss, and hitting a lot of fast mana, but no real interaction for that Dryneth Magistrate. He's just going to cast Arcane Signet and think about the mistakes that he's made here.
Yeah, what led him to this point? Sometimes you're under pressure. Sometimes you're under the gun.
Right. Yep.
Sometimes you poop your pants.
Yep. In a really strange place here too, because he's basically time walked himself next turn. He has to pay to untap Mana Vault to not risk dying to Mana Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
And that even the one life off of Force of Will might be relevant here. So I wonder if he even keeps Force of Will in his hand.
We did not see any attacks round 3, so outside of the win. So we will see if there is any attacking going on this game.
Yep. Looks like he's going to bin a bunch of lands, a Contaxium Probe, a Windfall. He is currently thinking about keeping that Force of Will. Binning Brain Freeze, that's probably not going to be useful here. We might be all in on the Pirate win.
Yeah, we're definitely keeping the free protection spells and deflecting SWAT and Guardianship.
Yeah. Oh, no, I guess he's not on Peer into the Abyss.
No brainer there. Well, how much mana does he have left after he has 1, 2, 3, 4? Just 6 without Vault?
6 without Vault. So it looks like he's just going to keep a hand full of interaction and hopes that he can stop people from winning. Maybe trying to do a little like table politics here. Say, hey, if you don't attack me, I have a handful of counterspells. I will stop anyone you want from winning as long as you don't kill me.
There you go.
Because there is fairly close to lethal on the board with him only at 4 life.
And most of that's all free information anyway.
Yep. All right.
We got Bobby's hand looking a little better than John's hand now.
Necro. Okay, well that's definitely going to improve his hand. Interesting to run Necro in that Prophet of Krufix their deck. Since it cares about card draw, Necro makes you skip your card draw. Of course, he probably has other ways to play some card draw out there. That's one less mana he's getting every turn, guaranteed. Yeah. Also, ensuring that attacking him with Dryneth Magistrate is not a spite play. It's just a good play. Now that he has Necro, the most likely person, he says, for those counterspells to go to is him.
Yep. It's not wrong.
When he's holding a grip full of presumably awesome cards, and everyone else is a little bit low on interaction. It seems based on the fact that an Adnal is resolved last turn.
Just a little bit of duct tape.
Yeah. He says, "I'm feeling good about my position. I think I will. I'll try to get that interaction out of the game." I guess the good news now for the Malcom players, you don't have to make a complicated choice about whether or not you untap Mana Vault, because that one life doesn't matter anymore. So
no, now you're just on a ticking clock.
Yep.
It's time to get to work.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. A
little bit of explosion there.
Yeah, it's okay. Doesn't look like anyone noticed. It does appear that they were during his cleanup step, kind of explaining the mana rock danger situation there and how poor the Adnaw's flip was. So doesn't look like we're too concerned about that.
No damage to Michael, the Opus player.
Mm-hmm.
With that ye old classic one lander.
Yep. Oh, we got a Ristic study. Yep. Yeah. We did the Time Twister did go away with the Praetor's Grasp. But I guess it's fortunate for him that he has another draw engine. It doesn't look like the Malcom players. Well, he's thinking about interacting with it. He is going to Fierce Guardianship it.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely think I would.
He does have another form of interaction in Deflecting SWAT, so I guess it's kind of free.
Yeah.
But Michael is on one land, so
yeah, it's possible that his reasoning was that if he does draw a land off of that Ristic study, next turn he just untaps and has Kraum to kill him in the air.
True.
So.
You gotta play to your outs.
Yep. I don't think the Malcom player here has a whole lot of outs though, so he might just be trying to get some value off of his spells before he dies. All right. Alex taking some damage off of Mana Crypt. The first damage for him. Ooh. That sure makes that interaction hand he has a lot worse.
I would really like my Deflecting or my Fierce Guardianship right about now.
Yep. That's a bad sign for the table.
Nobody knew that the fairy was coming to the party.
Yep.
That card is such a beating. It does not matter what format.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where they had to change him on Arena.
Yeah. I guess he's not a problem on Arena anymore, though.
No. Now that he costs one more mana and he's just... what did they change? They changed him to Grand Demolisher of the Planeswalkers.
The stacks effect is different, where you can't cast spells during that player's turn instead of shutting off
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. So now you can fight counter wars on your own turn. You can cast spells off suspend and stuff like that. Not that I think there were any suspend spells on Arena.
Gotcha.
But...
And hilariously shuts off Madness.
Yeah.
I've come to learn by watching the old Bosch and Roll.
Yep.
Here he is doing something.
That looks like Snapback. It looks like he's just trying to he wants to just cast some spells, I think, before he goes out of the game. He's bouncing Baron.
Okay.
Doesn't want to get locked out. Wants to play all of his spells. All right, down to 2.
Well, yeah, you want to, because Alex could just kill them in his combat step. And, and 100% would have.
All right, and he dies to his own Mana Crypt.
Sad song, but someone's got to sing it.
Yep.
That's for damn sure.
maybe jokingly the Thief player asking if he gets his Underworld Breach back into his deck now that the Praetor's Grasp effect is gone. He does not.
No, not at all.
It just stays in exile forever.
Hopefully he has more ways to win.
Yep.
But yeah, that will knock Bobby out of the tournament entirely, and we hope to see him next time.
Yep.
Great player all around.
Not enough to be the 3-time champion, apparently.
No, not at all.
Yep.
But we will have to get a WWE style cEDH belt.
Yep. 2-time world local champion.
Champ.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm not as familiar with Opus Thief as I am with the Blue Farm build of this, but I'm sure Underworld Breach getting exiled hurts. Probably not an instant lose by any means. And he also probably has his own Praetor's Grasp to swipe a Underworld Breach maybe off the Jodah player.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael's going to have to find some lands here soon.
Yep.
Or just a lot more mana rocks to stay in this game. Commander's locked out. No mana.
Interaction is also on the back burner here with Teferi.
Yeah.
And you're giving Alex cards every turn if you can't pay for Esper Sentinel too. So being low on mana really is very bad here in a lot of ways.
He was a trooper last turn, I will say, by going ahead and paying the tax.
Yep.
Not sure if he had any plays.
He
but
probably didn't have much else to do. But
definitely committed to paying the tax.
It looks like he only has 2 cards in his hand, if that's right. So
yeah, he might just be dead in the water here. This might just be a match between John and Alex.
Yeah. I mean, with Opus Thief though, you can always draw that land and start getting your commanders into the battlefield and start playing again. Eventually, Alex may deal with this Drannith Magistrate to try to go for an Underworld Breach, and if you get a turn with that Drannith Magistrate gone, maybe you can cast your commander and start generating value. But it does look pretty dismal here, being locked out of his commander and not having any lands and not being able to interact.
And then suddenly, Esper Sentinel has been turned into an elk.
Yep.
It is now a 3/3, and John will draw a card. So John has a Drannith Magistrate, a few lands, Necro, and a Carpet of Flowers. Okay.
Yeah, and the Opus Thief player also confirming that his hand is very bad, and that Rhystic Study was his one true hope right there to get back in this game.
Okay.
But it could be an elaborate bluff. Let's see.
All the way from the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to do anything to stop Teferi from locking him out. Drannith Magistrate is going to take a long time to kill Teferi by himself. Maybe he baits them into bouncing something.
He's going to have to call in the boys.
Yeah. Okay. Playing an Imperial Seal. I don't know what you get here. Definitely, obviously not familiar with what this decklist is doing, but this will go in his hand during his instep, assuming he uses a Necro, but very unlikely that it does anything with Teferi on the board until his next turn.
This deck doesn't have red in it, so how good is it really?
Great point. No gambles. No, well, you protect yourself in the Praetor's Grasp here by being able to guarantee your opponent that you do not have an Underworld Breach in your deck.
True.
Yeah. We saw last game a Praetor's Grasp for an Underworld Breach that he could not cast through Drannith Magistrate, though. I wonder if we're going to see that again.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see the same mistake twice in this game.
Nope.
But we shall see.
Drawing a lot of cards off of Necro.
I can definitely see see doing this at this time, but I don't know, on the other end of that, you're basically 1v1 right now. with the chance of surprise Opus Thief coming from the back. But
yeah, I mean, it's not like Esper Sentinel's going to kill you quickly, but even just casting Jodah, you're dead in 2 turns to that draw 14 there. I just don't know how much that's going to get you ahead.
Well, it's an Esper Elkanal.
That's true, yeah. It's a 3/3 now, isn't it? Yeah. So
very relevant against the black deck.
Yeah.
Using its life total.
Yeah.
And we do know that in the top, maybe not in Alex's hand, but maybe on the top of his library, is an Elish Norn.
I think it's in his hand. I'm pretty sure I saw it last turn.
So, something to be one, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Elish Norn cast next turn. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So land drop Elish Norn puts him on a 2-turn clock there, with that Esper Sentinel being a 3/3 and then a 5/5. And, you know, in Alex's favor here, it does keep that Dryneth Magistrate on the board too to cast Elish Norn, so it keeps the Opus Thief player locked out.
Living on a wing and a prayer.
Yep, he says, is it a top deck windfall? It is not. It is a talisman of, I think that's dominance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so blue-black. He's added black to his mana here, but still not a lot going on unless he's got an Adnals in his hand or something to that effect. Yeah. Oh, he's trying to give him a card off of Esper Sentinel. Alex says it is actually an elk right now, so do not worry about it.
No idea what's in John's hand, so he may have the goods for all we know.
I'm guessing that he does not. I got an Arid Mesa.
Michael doing us a favor, keeping track of life totals.
Yep. I do believe I just heard the another table here finish up their game. Someone got very excited there in the background about their win.
You gotta take them where you can, you know.
Yep.
This is a top 16 winning in.
Yep.
You do not make the top table if you do not win this game.
Fetching in Jodah, pretty complicated. I assume he has, if he's running Plateau, I would think that he probably has one of each dual land in there. Probably some shock lands, maybe even some triomes. Arid Mesa gets a little complicated when it can fetch 10 different lands.
Yeah, a lot of different lines here. This is
it is
Alex's
an Elish
deck,
Norn,
and then it is an Elish Norn. That is the first nail in the coffin.
yeah. That's turned that 10-turn clock very quickly down to 2 turns with Kynareth's Transformation and Elish Norn there. So.
I will say, if I'm sitting down and I see Jodah on the other end, Elish Norn is not something that is on my radar.
No, that's very interesting. No, normally when I see Jodah, I'm thinking that I'm going to see Omniscience, Enter the Infinite, maybe Imrakul or something like that to get one of those big fatties out there. Maybe Kozilek, something that draws you a bunch of cards. Elish Norn, not my expectation, but very good here again because it just speeds up that clock so much.
Yeah, went ahead and just swung for 5. That casual Esper Elk Sentinel in for 5.
Also locks him out of generating any card advantage that he might generate with Tymna over there. So he does have the path, it looks like, for Elish Norn. That buys him a turn. Don't know if Jodah runs any basic lands. Doesn't look like he's even gonna bother to look. So yeah, he does say indeed that I am not going to search. Not surprised about that. 5-color mana bases. I don't think he's on Hermit Druid, but
you never know.
Yeah. Mystical Tutor. So much main phase action here happening due to that Teferi Time Raveler. It feels like he's put so many cards on top of his deck too, drawn them with Necro, and then just not being able to really get ahead here. a little bit light on the mana, and just so much threat coming in from Alex here with the Jodah deck.
Yeah, Michael's got all the rocks right now. He's holding on to them, not letting them go.
One player with rocks, one player with lands.
One player with it all.
One player with both. Well, I guess Alex doesn't actually have... No, he's got Mana Crypt, but yeah. This Teferi just really doing a lot here, and Drannith Magistrate doing probably more harm than good.
Yeah.
At this point, keeping the Opus Thief player locked out of the game.
Yeah, Alex has got a rock. He's been making all his land drops. He's got top. I mean, he's pretty well positioned. So let's see if he can capitalize on that.
Yep. It may take a while though to kill Opus Thief at 36 life. Once he knocks the other player out of the game, of course, Drannith Magistrate gone, he can go cast Jodah, speed up that clock a little bit.
Go wild.
Yeah. Who is the owner of the Kimmer's transformation? I guess
it's John's. Yeah,
John's.
It's the Tymna player.
Yeah.
The other Tymna player.
Yeah.
She's hiding behind the Disciple of Krufix.
So at least that slows his clock down a little bit when John dies. But I don't think Alex is in any position here to...
We're going to squint collectively to figure out what this card
I
is.
believe that's Demonic Tutor.
Okay.
Yeah. So the old tutor for tutor. Pretty optimistic, I think, on his part. Because he can only draw one card with Necro. And that Demonic Tutor is going to be that one card. If he draws two cards here, he is dead to the Elk.
Let's see if he sees if he sees the line.
Yeah. Land for turn.
I will say having the transformation underneath the creature definitely makes it harder to remember, but it is John's own enchantment.
Right, and he does see it. So, Mana Crypt not being too much of a bully here. A small blessing, considering he cannot cast his commanders. He has no lands.
Do we think John blocks with Drannith Magistrate coming up?
I definitely think he does. That's blocking Esper Sentinel here is basically draw 3 cards because of Necro. So, assuming he has a way to deal with this board state, any amount of life you can save here is good, because I don't think you're that worried about Jodah killing you, because there's a very active threat on the board right now.
Very odd game.
Very odd game indeed.
Well, it just shows you the variance of Magic. And
there's not often you see a cEDH game where someone gets beat to death with an Esper Sentinel.
But we love to see it.
Yeah, you do love to see it, right? Yeah.
We're here for it.
Yeah.
We take those.
Yeah. Yeah, if that's your only plan, you're talking about the old 120 turn clock or so.
Yeah.
Enlightened Tutor.
Okay.
I don't know what you get here.
Please don't be Breach.
Yeah, I wonder if he just... Yeah, I wonder if we see another Breach misplay here.
He's on... what is he? Omniscience?
Yeah, he definitely has
Omniscience
in his
I
deck.
don't know if that's like what he's after, but...
It is just a Jeweled Lotus, which is interesting, because he can't actually cast his commander right now. I mean, he could easily bounce that Drannith Magistrate with Teferi.
I will say he's probably high on the hog right now, because he's got it all going on.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if Alex is all dressed up, but does he have somewhere to go? That's the real question.
Well, we'll find out. Okay, so he is going to use Teferi to draw that, bouncing Drannith Magistrate. So that is the plan to cast Jodah.
Gotcha.
And
Teferi and Jodah.
Yeah.
2 peas in a pod.
Not enough colored mana, I don't think, to cast anything off of Jodah. I wonder if he's just using that for the clock, or if he's just gonna set up for next turn. It doesn't. I don't think at this point you're very afraid of dying.
No.
So,
no.
Or even of Drannith Magistrate being gone.
At this point, you feel like a god.
Yeah. So tapping 5
out of the
for
glare zone.
Jodah. Yep. Out of the glare zone indeed. He's got 1 mana floating to cast his commander again.
What is he? He's like,
but
he's
not
colorless and Jeskai.
colorless and Jeskai. Yeah. So
you can pay your
pay 5 colors to cast any spell, for that mana cost instead of its normal mana cost. And he does have an Underground Sea, a Gemstone Caverns, and a Mana Crypt. So not going to come down this turn. All right. So he is locked out of drawing cards. Necropotence.
gotta feel bad.
Yep.
It's gotta feel real bad.
That Demonic Tutor better be really, really good. Oh, I think he may have just forgot about his Necropotence and drawn a card.
I mean, when it's over,
Yeah.
it's over, you know. Now is not the time to read Teferi.
Yeah.
That was probably 4 turns ago.
Yep.
5 turns ago, however long it's been.
Yeah. I think he's confused right here about if Teferi lets you cast spells during his turn. Okay, he did say he put his Necro card back after he thought about that.
This might be one of those speeches of like what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have.
So he's trying to cast a Silence off of Carpet of Flowers mana. Gets mana drained. Okay. I don't know if that indicates that there's more counter spells to come, or if he just wants that mana drain mana. There's Demonic Tutor. Okay, looking at top to see what he's got. It looks like it's hard to see. I see a red card.
That's a Ignoble Hierarch.
Ignoble, yeah. He does flip top to get Pact.
Oh, he says no. How did he get the Demonic Tutor back?
He drew it. He drew Demonic Tutor last turn with his 1 life from Necropotence.
Gotcha. Okay.
Probably in a pretty sad position now. Pact on the stack, targeting that Demonic Tutor. You can't cast spells right now.
Alex definitely has enough mana to pay for his Pact.
Yeah.
2 blue sources.
4 blue sources, actually, it looks like. Is that an Exotic Orchard? So it's not like you're going to be able to wasteland them out of the game.
Ready to go.
And, alright. He says, I don't have any cards in my hand. I can't draw any cards. I'm just going to scoop it up and see what's up.
That is a first. 2 players that have locked themselves out of the game.
Said his last card in his hand was Demonic Consultation. Which theoretically, maybe you get super, super lucky and Demonic Consultation into a way out of this, but I think you just die to Esper Sentinel next turn, so
hit Oracle on the bottom of
your
deck.
Maybe Oracle is the very last card of your deck, or the bottom 2 cards maybe. But it looks like he did flip his deck over, and you see the bottom card of his deck is Greater Good. So
we're all just trying to have fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Michael is here staring down the barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the Opus Thief player asking him if he has any other outs whatsoever, and him saying basically no, I'm locked out of the game completely, and I'm just gonna die to the next attack. So just try to speed this game up a little bit here for the other 2 players. Can't even Demonic Consultation for Force of Will or anything like that, because not enough cards in hand to cast it for 1, and for 2, the 1 life will kill you.
How big is Jodah?
4/3.
4/3?
Yeah. With flying.
Gotcha.
Dryath Magistrate off the board now. He could cast a Tymna. I don't know how well that would go for him. He does basically have kind of like a little mini time walk next turn with that Pact of Negation trigger. I don't think that is going to be too relevant, but let's see.
Very
Wish
slow
Claw.
Wish Claw.
Interesting. Not too dangerous, probably.
No, not terrible. He can go get his thing. Assuming Alex isn't really doing anything on his turn.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe attacking. Do you pay?
Mm-hmm. It's not an elk anymore. I don't think you're winning off of a Wishclaw Talisman with 2 mana, but it does not look like he's going to pay. He draws his top again.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I feel like he already did. He tapped 3 mana, right? Paid.
Oh, he did tap 3 mana.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's keeping that floating maybe to try to see if he can get a win off of this Wishclaw. I don't know what you're going to do with Wishclaw for...
Sometimes you got a dream.
Yeah, so 3 mana. Narset.
Interesting.
Okay, it looks like he is going to try to go for the wheel next turn. Well, I mean, Narset's going to die to Jodah, but maybe he just wants a little bit of card selection here. I don't know what he could possibly get here.
I mean, at this point, he's, just trying to dig and dig and dig out of this spot.
Yeah. Cabal Ritual. Interesting. I mean, that could theoretically... generate enough mana that you can add Naws off of Wishclaw Talisman and win that way. And yeah, he is tapping out here a little bit to pay for Pact of Negation. Still has 3 mana open, 2 of which is blue, and a grip full of cards. Looks like, is that a Final Fortune that he just drew as well? So
yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, if he's got the win, I don't think there's a lot that that's gonna be done about it right here.
Alex just kind of walking through this game unscathed for the most part.
Yeah.
A lot of people, no one's really answered any of his spells. He's just played his permanents, kept quiet, let everybody else spin their wheels, lock themselves
Esper Sentinel drew a lot of cards too.
Yeah, Esper Sentinel has been MVP by a large margin.
Only 4 cards, it looks like, in his graveyard.
This has now become a 1v1 format.
I think the duel here definitely is highly favorable towards Alex as well.
Yeah.
So
everything's pretty well face up at this point.
Let's see what he's getting. Tundra. He does have that Gemstone Caverns if he wants to go for Final Fortune. I don't think you even need to here. I think...
No, I don't... Another turn doesn't seem like it's going to really clinch the win.
But depending on his hand, that Wishclaw Talisman might be scary.
He says no thanks to the Narset.
It is Final Fortune.
Jodah is officially a girl puncher.
Classic Jodah. All right. He says, "Don't have any responses. Go ahead and do your thing." He's got 2 lose during your turn triggers on the stack here. So, or consecutive turns, not literally on the stack. So let's see what happens.
Alex says it's Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Yeah. I don't see that he has the win in his hand, but that top card might be Enter the Infinite. I can't exactly tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has got 4 or 5 mana left after that. He is casting something off of Jodah. Alright. 5 mana. Definitely the right colors. Enter the Infinite. Okay.
Yep. From this point, he can just cast his spells.
Yep. I mean, worst case scenario, even if you cannot, for some reason, find the win off this, you can Angel's Grace yourself alive. Then maybe Time Twister or something like that. Your graveyard back into your deck next turn. All right, what's he got? 2 mana for a Thoracle. With no way to interact here. That is it.
That's all she wrote.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. And next match, we will have the top 4 final table. And this has been a wild one, for sure.
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on this round.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but
yeah,
we appreciate you guys coming out.